together, getting caught up in some things and trying to get some benefits from it. That there is a total different mentality that's operating in regards to that. And I guess what might be shared is, and I might even ask this question of you, that even though that's a generic understanding of a game, is there internally a different understanding and a different approach to the greater game culture that's coming into this area that's being perpetuated by some of the major organizations that are now not just isolated groups of folks get together, but have a strategic, intentional, focused plan on how they're seeking to get our kids, how they're seeking to take over our communities and all that. Is there a different focus within the police department?
Yeah, and of course our primary focus is going to be successful prosecution of people that's going out here and doing gang activity. But we also have a preventative and an educational type element within the police department. We have investigators that are in the gang unit. What they do is they go out and they try and educate, the kids, young men like him. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you know Investigator Terrence Smith or not, but he goes around to different schools talking to kids and trying to build a relationship with them and let them know exactly what gangs are all about. And that's being a preventive element of the police department. But at the same time, we're going to have to be able to successfully, prosecute people. And that's why these definitions are just so generic and plain, so that we can encompass just about any element. Because technically, you can really get a couple of people together and they can go out and just do criminal acts for maybe a couple of weeks and then disassemble. And we want to be able to prosecute these people like we would the existing gangs, the Bloods, the Crips that's been around forever. So it's all about prosecution.
Let me start off on down the list there,
Let
somebody else.
The definition of gang, I'm fair with that. But it's not even, I know what you're talking about the criminal activity, but you also mentioned that it's forcing a group of people, their ideologies on someone else. And that goes back to what you were saying in your question. If you're pulling one person to the side as a recruitment effort and bullying. So it's not just the two or more that are, your high schoolers. We don't have anything like that can address and hold them and keep them occupied during the summer. I think there may be one thing at Jackson State Community College that you can kind of sign up and do like a little job internship program that they were having once upon a time. Not sure about that. Jack Laser probably be your contact number at Jackson State Community College, but we have a hard time with our youth, our teen youth, and of course that's the main focus of violence, is youth violence, is that age group. We don't have anything to keep those children busy during the summers, during spring break, fall break, those kinds of mentoring programs that we need to have in place. I hope that's all three of your questions.
Oh yes, you did a great job.
But I think except for one, the cultural aspect that you asked about, if you get your answer with satisfaction.
Yes, because again, that really, my questions opened up the fact that not everybody really understands the concept of gangs and the ideology and the whole thing. That you covered it all, and that's really what my goal was. So thank you all for your input.
Mia, let me finish this off with the fact that we have to understand we have become what we call a punitive society when we have behavior that we don't want. So we concentrate on punitive measures rather than some other measures that are more dominant, that will change the behavior factor, or change conditions that create the behavior. Police departments don't do so much, but that's what they do. That's what they've always done. You shouldn't expect them to solve all of our problems because they can't. That's not what they do. When the police get involved, it's because a crime has been committed. That's when 90% of all their efforts go toward arrest, investigation, arresting, incarceration, et cetera, et cetera. The bigger part, what we're dealing with, is left on the part of this community. Forget about the police department. They do what they do, and we're glad they're there, and we want them to stay there to protect us. But the larger sense is that what we're doing as a community in response to that creates a type of conditions that create the behavior that creates the problem. We have to learn how to connect the dots. We know that between the hours of 3 and 6 o'clock, 3 and 7 o'clock is the most not in school, and they don't have supervision. Some of what we call latchkey kids, if they're home alone. So there's all kind of issues and things that they can get involved in. When we talk about our culture, it's not necessarily a black and white world, and we do have a component of race and racism. I don't know